So now is 8:17. Today is National Family Fun Day. Earlier this morning, Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, and I started a conversation about parents and adult children celebrating. Well, now we want to switch to kids of all ages having fun with their grandparents. So Blanca, let's jump right in. Why is it important for kids and grandparents to have fun?
Grandparents and their grandchildren have their own relationship. And when children play that and they're playing with their grandparents, that's a way for them to bond with their grandparents. And then when children are playing, grandparents really get a sense of what's going on for their grandchild, how they interpret the world by how they're playing. So it gives them a sense of how their grandchildren are thinking, and it makes it easier to become a part of their grandchild's world.
Also, how does separation anxiety play into this?
This is a tough one because some grandparents take care of their grandchildren on occasion. Some grandparents take care of their grandchildren a little more frequently. Now, if mom and dad leave when they take the children to the grandparents, children can start making this association, and it can cause some separation anxiety for their own parents because they see grandma or grandpa and they're like, okay, this is cue that mom and dad are leaving. And so they can get upset. What happens is, if grandparents and grandchildren have their own bond and there's a lot of comfort and a lot of playing and warmth and communication, that tends to decrease that separation anxiety because children feel like, oh, then they have this big smile and they'll start running up to their grandparents. Sure, they'll miss their mom and dad, and sure, there might be a couple of tears, but that intensity decreases. So the more fun that grandchildren have with their grandparents, it just makes that transition so much easier.
And then looking to teens, what about teens and their grandparents?
They can have such a unique relationship. Grandparents are a wealth of information because they have lived life, they've experienced life, they've encountered all kinds of people in their own journey of life, that they have so much that they can share to make life a little easier for their grandchildren. They're teens, right? So what happens with the teenagers, and that happens to almost all, that it just makes me chuckle, is that they see older people, it could be their parents or grandparents, are like, what do you really know, right? What do you really know about technology? You know, everything's so out of date. You didn't even have cell phones or social media. So how can you really relate to us? But if there's a bond, and grandparents and teenagers really stay connected through communication, maybe through some new technology, then teenagers tend to lighten up when grandparents can become more a part of their world. And that is the beauty of it. So yes, it goes on both sides, teenagers and grandparents, but when grandparents enter that world, like I just said, teenagers are just like, wow, they see their grandparents a little differently, more relatable. And the more relatable means the more comfortable they are to talking. And this is the beauty of where grandparents can share all the wisdom that they have.
I will say my mom or my grandma has Snapchat. That was a big step for us.
Oh,
it's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, thank you, Blanca. You can continue this conversation with her on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, body language expert.